Hi everybody. In this video we're going to be looking at my brand new pedal board, so stick around. Hey everybody, Denskill here. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, are you pedal bored? Are you using the same pedals on the same board, through the same amp or amps, using the same guitar or guitars? You're getting a little tired of it? Have you tried switching things up, maybe changing the order of your signal chain around? Or maybe you've made some purchases and some quarantine acquisitions in order to get some new sounds going in your rig. Maybe you're at the opposite end of things and you're shedding equipment and trying to do more with less during the quarantine. Let me know in the comments below what your experiences have been. I know I've done all of that stuff. And today we're going to look at a little board that I've put together mostly for live use, and I've done some recording with it already. But we're going to talk about the pedals, a little bit of my philosophy around chaining pedals together, and we'll get into a little sound demo as well. So please stick around for that. So here's the pedal board, folks, and you might be saying, man, that is a pretty big board, but it is a lot smaller than some of the other boards that I use. They all have different applications. Some of them are for recording, some of them are for live performance, some of them, just for jamming kind of thing and practice at home. This one is meant for live playing, hence it's mounted on a PedalTrain Nano Plus, which is I think the second smallest board that they make, and it's got 6 of the most essential pedals that I might use in a live situation. It's powered by a One Spot Pro by Trutone, a C6, and I'll just walk through the pedals here in order. If you want any in-depth reviews of each of the pedals, there's tons of them available online, so check those out. Over here is a Polytune 3 Mini. At first I didn't want to put a tuner on the board, but I thought it was always a good idea to have one on the floor, just because I'm not a big fan of the headstock tuners. They can be a little bit glitchy and prone to interference when you're on stage in a live environment or in a jam space. Second up here is the Function Fx Clusterfuzz Jr. This is a great fuzz pedal that I enjoy. I get a lot of, you can get a lot of gnarly fuzz sounds out of it, but you can also get like some really good crunchy rock tunes and lower gain sounds out of it as well. Up next is the MXR version of the Timmy Pedal. This is a great pedal that I use for overdrive sounds, to some lead playing. It's got a lot of tone just in these switches that are very, very powerful controls on this pedal. Up next, for my modulation effects, I rely on the Wampler Terraform here. This unit sounds great, and it's got a whole bunch of different modulated tones in it that I use. Everything from choruses, flangers, to envelope filters, and univibe type tones. Over here is the Source Audio Collider Delay and Reverb. Very super powerful, awesome sounding pedal that covers all of my reverb and delay needs. And then lastly at the end here, I've got the TC Electronics Spark Booster, which is good for when I want to jump out of a mix and maybe take some solos. I guess the most interesting change that I've made during quarantine when I put this pedal board together. I initially had these two pedals switched in order, and thanks to a suggestion from Daniel from the Gig Rig that I saw in one of their live streams, I mentioned putting your fuzz before your overdrive in order to have the overdrive kind of smooth out the sound of the fuzz if it gets a little harsh or jagged. For years and years and years, I always used to put my overdrive pedals and my gain stages in sequence of least gain to most gain. So this is a little bit reversed for me, and I have to say that the sound results are quite spectacular. If I really want a third gain stage, I can use these two pedals together and really get a nice smooth crunchy sound, like almost like a hard rock heavy metal sound, by putting these two together in this sequence, as opposed to the other way around. So I like the character of having the pedals in this particular sequence and the certain sound that I get out of having them in this order. Okay, so my signal chain here is the guitar into the pedals, into a Boogie California Tweed amplifier with 6v6 tubes, and I'm using a Shure SM58 for a microphone, Probably should use a 57 at some point. That's running straight through my Mark of the Unicorn Pre-8 into GarageBand with no signal processing there. So I'm just going to muck about with some of the sounds here really quick. Again, this isn't a real official demo or anything like that, but just to really showcase a little bit of the versatility of this board and really how it does quite a lot of things that I enjoy. So here we go. Just playing on my middle pickup here on my guitar. This is the clean sound. So I'm going to start with a little bit of reverb on there from the collider. And let's add some delay. Now we'll add in some chorus. So that's a really cool 80s type sound. I'm just going to try another quick patch here on the Wampler Terraform. It's got a lot of different sounds in it on its own, and I'll just quickly cycle through a bunch of them here while my guitar is clean. Let's add a bit of dirt to that. Going back to clean and just trying a few more patches. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of others on there. I won't bore you guys with that. Show you my little gain stages here that I have. First one is the Timmy. Now we'll do the Clusterfuzz on its own for a second gain stage. And of course the cool thing, like I mentioned before, is when you combine them together. So yeah, really cool sounds when you join those two together here. And that's a quick run through. Oh, lastly, I'll plot on the spark here. The spark makes everything more. So here's before. So it's a nice boost there, and it goes much louder than that. So this concludes the big tour of my little board, or the little tour of my big board, depending on how you look at it. Again, this board covers about 90 to 95% of my sonic needs. My other boards are bigger and more complex, so I think this board is a little more streamlined and reliable. Is it expensive? Is it overkill? Yeah, I'd say so. I probably could have done a lot more with a lot less. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you're running a smaller board or a bigger board, or if you've made any changes during this quarantine to your setup. I for one enjoyed the experience because I found out a little trick about my gain stage signal chain there, and now I'm enjoying this board a lot more. Hope everyone's having a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Take care.